Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm your humble host, Saved by Children TV, back at it with a brand new video. If you have not already subscribed to my YouTube channels, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe so you'll be notified every single time I drop a brand new video. Subscribe to this channel here, Saved by Children TV, Charles Reactions, and Crime Time, so you'll be notified every single time I drop a brand new video. Today I have some stories that we're going to talk about. One story that we're going to start with is very, very amazing, and it's out of Georgia. Georgia takes a W for the story. But before I get started, I was going to do an 11th story, but what had happened was I couldn't find the article of the video, but it was about a YouTuber. She was posting as a child, and I guess a teacher online, and um, continued talking to her after she mentioned that she was a child and he is on administrative leave. I forgot what state it was, but you gotta be careful who you meet with on the internet because it could be a teacher, it could be anybody who are preying on the youth. So people be careful of their parents. Watch your children, watch what your children watch, and what apps they get on, and all that. So you be careful that they don't go on the wrong platform. Now, let's get into our first story. Got my speaker back. Oh, before we get started, make sure to cash at me. It's CPA 106, money sign CPA 106. Don't forget capital C, PA 106. And find at the beginning is the money sign. So don't forget it. All right. The story here, if you have not heard about it, the story here takes a W. Okay? It says 10-year-old Miracle lives up to her name, helps deliver baby sister. St. Louis. So, St. Louis. So, the story's out of St. Louis. So, St. Louis takes a W for this positive story. A 10-year-old named Miracle is being honored for helping to deliver her little sister when her mother unexpectedly went into labor. On October 23rd, Miracle was at home with her mom, Viola Fair, and her 5-year-old sister, Taylor, when her youngest sister decided to arrive about 3 weeks early. She was in a lot of pain and I felt bad, so I wanted to help her, Miracle told KMOV. 911 dispatcher operator Scott Strangleford Huffner helped guide Miracle over the phone. She did amazing. She never questioned anything. Strangler explained she said exactly as she was asked and was left with a beautiful baby girl. The dispatcher said children usually make the best dispatch callers because they listen to directions better than their dogs. It is kind of nice because I wouldn't have known what to do. I would have left. I wouldn't have known how to deliver a baby. Miracle's mother joked. First responders took over and hoped the baby would cry when they arrived. Everything went perfect. Paramedics Blake, Alicia said I couldn't have asked for a better miracle or anyone else on the scene. Everyone played their part. She is super brave for what she did. Miracle said the entire experience has her thinking she might pursue a medical career, but first she wants to pass the fourth grade. Here is the news video. Go back. Go back.
7 days until Turkey Day, and whether you loathe or love those holiday family gatherings, you know that your relatives will still have some pretty tall tales to tell.
I can think of that one relative.
Everybody's got one.
Yeah. Tonight, we are starting things a little bit early as our David Amilati reports Viola Fair's story. It's a cute one and 100% real, backed up by her impatient baby and her very calm 10-year-old daughter.
So we have a certificate from the 911 Center.
First responders in their Class A uniforms to honor 10-year-old Miracle Moore. On October 23rd, Miracle became a hero.
Hi, Doctor, have the emergency?
Hi, I think my mom was in labor. She was in a lot of pain and I felt bad, so I wanted to help her.
Miracle was home with her mom, Viola, and her 5-year-old sister, Taylor. Mom wasn't supposed to have her baby for another 3 weeks, but at 3:45 in the afternoon, beautiful Jayla decided to make an early appearance.
It feels amazing. It's kind of nice because I wouldn't know what to do. I would have left probably. I wouldn't have been able to do it for a baby.
Mama, they said lay on your back in the center of the bed or on the floor. She said you can't lay down. Do you need help?
911 dispatcher Scott Stranghoner was the one guiding Miracle.
She did amazing. She never questioned anything. She did exactly as she was asked, and we're left with a beautiful baby girl. So.
It's okay, Mama. It's okay.
To celebrate this miracle, Scott and other first responders brought Christmas a little early for the Moores. It's clear baby Jayla is the greatest gift this season.
She's really cute. She doesn't cry a lot, and I get to hold her a lot.
So when you guys get together for the holidays, do you think you guys have the best story?
I think so. I think we take the cake this year.
A really remarkable family. I asked Miracle if this experience motivates her to pursue a career in medicine or in the medical field. She says maybe, but first she just wants to pass the 4th grade. In North County, David Amilati, News 4.
Right. I got confused with the article because it said 11 News, and that's out of Atlanta. So that's why I got confused. Okay, so the story came out of St. Louis, but other news stations covered it. Okay. You know, the amazing part is when parents teaches their children to when something happened, to be right there on our side. And this mother did 100% amazing job teaching her children to call for help when something goes wrong, when she's not able to. And we need more parents like that in the world. When I saw the story online, I wanted to cover this story on this channel. Even though my channel is called Save Our Children TV, we gotta save our children and also protect our children and also nourish our children, love our children, give our children a better life than we have growing up. So that's why I chose to do this story and inspired me to do the story. And I want to personally congratulate Miracle, and I also want to congratulate the mother, having her new baby, and St. Louis gets a big A plus for the story, and we need more stories like that in the media instead of so much negativity in the media. We need more positive stories in our media today. It's just so negative. You go to sleep, wake up, go check the news. Always one negative story out of a positive story. So, like, comment, subscribe, turn post notifications on, turn the bells on, and you're on story 2 out of 9. Our next story is a fair use story. This story, if you have children, I would prefer you to watch this without your children. We're going to talk about a story. If you're not already heard about it, I just recently heard about the story, and I just now um covering the story on the channel. It's about 25-year-old Shanquilla Robinson, who was murdered in Mexico when she went on vacation. The story was a national story. The story, was a sad story. A lot of people was affected by the story, so I'm going to talk about it. Um, talk about it today on my channel. SHANQUILLA Shanquilla Robinson. A 25-year-old woman died during a vacation to Mexico, and her family wants answers about a video that showed her being beaten. And this happened back on November 17th, I think. No, it happened a month ago. It happened back in October. But there's been a lot of updates so far. So, a 25-year-old woman from Charlotte, North Carolina. This is her. A 25-year-old woman from Charlotte, North Carolina, died during a trip to Mexico with friends last month. But after a video showed her being beaten, her family is calling for justice and truth about the circumstances of her death. Shanquilla Robinson, who ran a popular hair braiding business and online boutique, was found dead in her hotel room on October the 29th while on vacation with friends in San Jose del Cabo. Local authorities said Wednesday they're continuing to investigate her death. The FBI and Charlotte confirmed to BuzzFeed News that they have been in contact with Robinson's family and are aware of the video circulating online. Robinson's mother, Salamandra Robinson, told news outlets that initially her daughter friend said she had died of alcohol poisoning. I spoke with her Friday evening. She was having dinner, and I never spoke with her again. Robinson's mother told WBTV on Saturday evening they called and said she wasn't feeling well, and they were going to call a doctor. And when they called, the doctor hadn't arrived yet, but they said she had alcohol poisoning. But according to the death certificate, Shanquilla Robinson's death was caused by a severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation. They said she was feeling well. She had alcohol poisoning. Her mother told. They said she wasn't. They said she wasn't feeling well. She had alcohol poisoning. Her mother told WJZY they couldn't get the pulse. Each one of the people that was there with her was telling different stories. On Wednesday, prosecutors in Baja California said they are continuing to collect evidence and investigate the circumstances around the death at the Beach Club Villa. In recent days, a video surfaced that appeared to show Robinson being beaten in a hotel room. Robinson is knocked to the ground as another person repeatedly hits her in the head. The person from the video can be heard saying, "Can you at least fight back?" People on social media soon called for justice for the 25-year-old woman. The U.S. Department of State confirmed her death to BuzzFeed News, and the FBI Charlotte Fire Office confirmed it has opened an investigation into Robinson's death. A GoFundMe for the family said they are devastated by Robinson's death and expect to face expenses related to her funeral and potential legal fees. We continue to fight for the truth. They recently just had a funeral a couple days ago, and then they just updated and said that she suffered a spinal injury and a broken neck. So now her death is ruled a homicide from beating. Now, they said multiple people are wanted for her murder, but they are still working the investigation. Let me say this. I can't show none of the news videos because this is a graphic story. If you want to see the news video, the story is all over the website. I'm going to say this though. You know, it's disturbing to film a fatal beating, number one. Number two, I do believe that other people believe that she was beaten by multiple friends who were jealous of her because of her businesses. And they took advantage. Number three, if you're going on a girl's trip or a boy's trip or both trips, you need to be careful who you go with. Secondly, you need to be armed, whether it's a gun, whether it's a knife, whether it's something to protect you. You don't know, you don't know who's gonna turn on you right away or at any moment. Again, these people took advantage of Miss Robinson. That's what they did, and justice needs to be served. Yesterday, I believe it was. No, day before yesterday, Saturday. I actually watched on YouTube. A woman had posted it on YouTube. Her full funeral, and I was watching it, and you could see a bunch of people came out to support. And I'm gonna tell you something. The 20, Shanquella Brothers, 25, was loved by so many, loved by her community, loved by the world, because she did great things for the community. And for people to take advantage of people's kindness and beat her like that. I haven't seen the videos. Now, I'm not going to see the videos because they're graphic. But, you got to understand something. If you film, number one, if you film a beating and somebody died from it, even if they don't die from it, you just as guilty. If you lie about someone's death and you're involved in this, you're filing a false police report because you're lying about a death. And that's not good to be on your record. And everybody involved in this homicide needs to be arrested and brought to justice. And answers needs to be answered because there's no way that you can get away with killing someone. We had two businesses at the age of 25 did amazing in the community. Was amazing when she was around her family and friends and the community. And then go on a trip just to end up dead. Do I believe this trip was a setup? Absolutely. Because this was planned. Anytime you invite somebody on a trip and they end up dead because you beat that person, it's a setup. You set them up to go on this trip, this wonderful trip. So they go on this trip and end up getting beaten to death in a hotel. Everybody involved needs to pay. Justice needs to be served. Shanquella Robinson. May she rest in peace. This was a heartbreak story. The family is devastated. The father even spoke out during interviews. This is hard for people who loved Shanquella, who respected Shanquella, and loved what she did for the community. And to take advantage of somebody and of somebody's kindness says a lot about you as a person and as an individual. It says a lot about your character. It says a lot about who you are. Not comment, subscribe. We're gonna start recruiting out of 3 out of 9. Our next story take place Pierce. Let's see. Pierce County takes an L. A Pierce County man pleads guilty to killing his pregnant ex-girlfriend in 2020. There's an update from November 14th of 2022. A Pierce County man accused of killing his pregnant ex-girlfriend in 2020 pleaded guilty to murder charges on Monday. Colin Patrick Dudley waived his right to a trial and pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 320 months of imprisonment. Dudley was arrested in 2020 for the disappearance and death of Cassandra Control, who was his ex-girlfriend. She was also pregnant. Dudley was the father. Control was found wrapped in trash bags on a hillside in University Place. An autopsy found she was stabbed and suffered skull fractures. Her car, a white Mazda, was found on East 25th Street in Tacoma. Dudley initially told detectives he hadn't seen Control in years and didn't know anything about her disappearance, according to charging documents. The detectives later discovered surveillance footage showing a man parking Control's car, walking to another parking garage, and driving away in a truck, according to documents. The truck belonged to Dudley, according to documents. Documents also show Control's cell phone was tracked, showing investigators it was the area of Dudley's home around the time she disappeared. Control also brought a 50-gallon trash bags on the same morning Control disappeared, according to charging documents. Dudley pled not guilty when he was arrested in September of 2020. On Monday, he pled guilty and waived his right to make a statement before sentencing. 320 months was recommended by a prosecutor after months of negotiation, a person said in court on Monday. However, family members of Control favored a trial over a plea. Control's mother, father, and twin brother all spoke in court and asked the judge for a criminal trial. Robert Control, the twin brother of Cassandra Control, said he and his family still have unanswered questions about Cassandra's death and want the full truth to be publicized through trial. Mary, the mother of Cassandra, said she felt like Dudley was choosing his punishment and said a trial is what Cassandra would have wanted. So he basically was sentenced to 26 years for murder in the first degree. Now, the circumstance behind killing his pregnant girlfriend is because he didn't want the baby. You know, it's like, why lay down and have unprotected blank when you know you don't have a problem with the father and his child? You know, you bring an innocent life in the world, even though your ex-girlfriend's pregnant, and then kills her while she's pregnant with your child. He should have also been charged with murder of his unborn child that he killed. You know, it's crazy. You know, this guy obviously is sick in the head. And then, after killing her, he put her remains in a bag and threw them in a trash can, like she's trash, like his infant child, unborn child was trash. Gotta understand something. He should have been facing a life sentence in prison without the possibility of parole and probation. Better yet, he should have been facing the death penalty for this heinous act he endured on his ex-girlfriend and their unborn child, because it was heinous. I want to show you those videos. Videos.
Major developments in the South Sound today for a tragedy we've covered for more than 2 years. A Pierce County man accused of killing his ex-girlfriend is pleading guilty. Colin Patrick Dudley was arrested in September of 2020 for the murder of Cassandra Cantrell. KIRO 7's Kevin Coe was in the courtroom this morning and brings us details on this stunning change.
Colin Patrick Dudley has stood firm in his stance since he was arrested for the murder of Cantrell in 2020. He has been saying since the beginning that he's had nothing to do with her disappearance. She was his ex-girlfriend and was pregnant with their child when she disappeared. But now, Dudley is flipping his stance and is now pleading guilty for the murder of Cantrell. In August of 2020, Cassandra Cantrell was found dead over a hillside in University Place. Her body was wrapped in trash bags. An autopsy found she had been stabbed and suffered skull fractures. Her death came about a month after she found out she was pregnant, and Dudley was the father. Dudley reportedly never wanted a child, but when detectives talked to him, he claimed he hadn't seen Cantrell in years. However, video surveillance showed a man parking Cantrell's car on the morning.
Okay, closing arguments. My closing remarks is that this man should never see the light of day again. Either that or the death penalty. I don't think 26 years is going to phase him. It's not going to change him. He's going to get out after 26 years and do the same old thing. Get married to somebody else, get into a relationship with somebody else, probably the same thing he did to his ex-girlfriend. He don't need to see the light of day again for what he did. He needs to rot in prison for the rest of his life. Or, ultimate penalty, the death penalty. Court system. You know, you're giving this man 26 years. That's not enough for anybody. That's not enough for me. He needs to face life in confinement without the possibility of parole or probation or the death penalty. Like, comment, and subscribe. Story 4 out of 9. These next few stories are not going to have a news video attached to them. I'm just going to talk about it and then give my opinion on it and keep it moving. Story 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. Sorry, 4 out of 10. Gunman kills 5 people and injured 26 others at a LGBTQ nightclub in Colorado Springs. If you have not heard about this story, go research it. The man suspected of killing 5 people and wounding 17 others at a Colorado Springs LGBTQ nightclub will face multiple murder and hate crime charges, court records show. Police have identified the deceased victims as Danielle Aston, Raymond Green Vance, Callie Loving, Ashley Pugh, and Derek Rump. Anderson Aldridge was facing 5 counts of first-degree murder and 5 counts of base motive crime using bodily injury, according to an online docket in El Paso County Court. The district attorney for El Paso County, Michael Allen, said former charges have been filed, and the ones on the docket are preliminary and might change. Court records show Aldridge, who is hospitalized, is being held without bail. The docket does not reflect whether Aldridge has retained an attorney. Allen said after Aldridge is moved from a medical facility to jail, he will have an initial appearance by video. While police have released more details about the motive, the massacre at a Club Q, a long-time safe haven for the local LGBTQ community, has shattered a sense of security. I feared I was not going to make it out. What started as a joyous night of laughter and dancing Saturday night devolved into a scene of terror when a gunman walked into the club and immediately opened fire. I looked up and saw the outline of a man holding a rifle at the entrance of the club, probably about 15 feet from me. to Michael Anderson, who was bartending at Club Q in Colorado Springs, Colorado, late Saturday night. I ducked behind the bar, and as I did, glass began to spew all around me. Within seconds, his friend and a bar supervisor, Daniel Eston, was fatally wounded. Survivor Ad Sanders said he saw the gunman but couldn't make out the words the man uttered as he opened fire by the door. It seemed like he was firing from his waist, but it was happening so fast, I didn't really grasp what was going on until I got shot in the leg, Sanders told CNN. Another 4 people were killed, and 19 others, 17 of whom had gunshot wounds, needed medical attention after a rampage that stirred memories of 2016 Pulse massacres in Orlando, in which 49 people at the LGBTQ nightclub were killed. Anderson said it took a moment for him to process the horror. When he did, he thought his life was over. There was a moment in time where I felt I was not going to make it out of that club alive. I have never prayed so sincerely and quickly in my life as I was anticipating the outcome and afraid of that outcome. Anderson told CNN on Monday, as I was praying, the gunshot stopped. 200 people managed to subdue the gunman, Anderson said, preventing even greater tragedy. Okay. Number 1. How many times I keep telling folks that it is time to get the guns, ghost guns, and every other deadly ammunition off the streets? We seem to understand that, we don't understand that it's about that time to get these guns off the street. Secondly, we continue seeing more deadly mass shootings in 2022 alone than in 2019. 2022 have seen more deadly mass shootings than ever in U.S. history. And that's because it is easy to get hold of assault rifles, ghost guns, snipers, and every other type of deadly weapons. Secondly, this is not the first time this suspect, who's 22 years old by the way, was arrested. He was arrested for trying to blow up with a bomb on his mother, grandmother, one of them. This is why he should have, from day one, been in an institution. Because he's done it to society. If he did this to his family, what makes you think he would not do this to somebody else? It is not that hard. This was planned. He planned this. And what the police needs to do is figure out how long this is planned, which means they're going to have to go through his phone history, his laptops, computers, everything he got electronically to see when was this planned and what date he planned this massacre. To those victims, innocent victims who were killed, 5 victims who were tragically killed, murdered by this maniac, you don't deserve to be shot and killed like that. You don't deserve to lose your life over a maniac. And he's gonna get his when he gets to prison. He's gonna get his when he's facing your families. He's gonna get his, and you will get justice for what he did. He's gonna have to pay for what he did. He chose to shoot up a LGBTQ nightclub, which means that he obviously have something against LGBTQ people. And if somebody have a problem against LGBTQ people, they don't give you a right to go and shoot up a LGBTQ nightclub or any businesses where LGBTQ people have a right to relax, have fun, dance, or anything else inside an establishment. You ruin people's lives. People's families are devastated behind your ignorance, common sense. And if it wasn't for those two heroic person who pinned the suspect down, more people would have lost their lives at that ambulance injury. We gotta do better, people. We have got to do better. And this is not a mental illness situation because this man threatened people in the past. So mental illness is not an excuse. And we're not going to use it as an excuse. His ignorance is what caused people to lose their life. And his family to almost lose their life. His ignorance, not mental illness, ignorance. Like, comment, and subscribe. Keep the victims in your thoughts and prayers. Keep the injured victims in your thoughts and prayers. This is going to be a long road to recovery, but nobody deserves to be shot and killed or injured and tormented, and none of that because of what somebody is or what there is or what they are not. Nobody. Like, comment, subscribe. We are on story 5 out of 10. So this is it. California is taking an L. A California dad and girlfriend are facing murder and torture charges and death of his 4-year-old daughter back in October of 2022. This is his daughter. If you can see, look at that beautiful smile. And, you know, you have parents out here who didn't care about their child and took advantage of the child. Now, a 24-year-old father in California and his 22-year-old girlfriend, again, children themselves, children themselves, and a father of a 7-year-old child, 24. A 24-year-old father in California and his 22-year-old girlfriend are being, let me repeat that, I'm sorry. A 24-year-old father in California and his 22-year-old girlfriend are behind bars for allegedly torturing and killing the man's 4-year-old daughter, Isaiah Wayne Rowan, and Charity Stafari, were taken in custody on Wednesday and charged with one count each of murder, torture, and assault on a child resulting in great bodily harm or death. Jail records reviewed by Law and Crime show. According to a press release from the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office, deputies from the Apple Valley Station at approximately 9:35 p.m. on October 25th responded to a 911 call regarding an unresponsive child at a residence located in the 22,000 block of Highway 18. Upon arriving at the scene, first responders discovered the injured little girl and transported her to a local hospital. Despite the medical staff attempting life-saving measures on the victim, she was pronounced dead shortly after arriving at the facility. Due to the child's condition, investigators said detectives with the Sheriff's Specialized Investigations Homicide Unit responded to the scene and took over the case. An investigator from the coroner's office also responded to the hospital and examined the child's body. Authorities said the investigator determined that the child has sustained numerous injuries indicative of child abuse, according to the sheriff's office. Our homicide detectives interviewed the child's father and the girlfriend, and they were both subsequently arrested for causing the child's death. Gloria Herrera, a spokesperson with the sheriff's office, reportedly told Los Angeles ABC affiliate KABC TV. Bump and Safari were arrested and booked in at the Central Detention Center in San Bernardino and subsequently transferred to the West Valley Detention Center. Both suspects were initially charged with assault on a child resulting in death and held on $500,000 bond. After authorities filed additional charges of murder and torture, however, the bond was increased to $1 million. $1 million. Though authorities have not released an additional details on the case or the victim's ultimate cause of death, neighbor Michelle Turner reportedly told KABC that when she saw the little girl and her family, they often seemed to be enjoying themselves. She seemed happy. I would see her in the summertime at the pool, and she was playing, having a good time. Turner reportedly told the station it seemed like the whole family was. Hannah Lucas, the little girl's biological mother, identified her daughter as Jasmine in a GoFundMe campaign to help raise money for her funeral. Hi, my name is Hannah Lucas, and my daughter Jasmine passed away suddenly yesterday. We still have no cause of death yet, and we are still waiting for the detective to call us to give us any information on what might have happened. The page states she was 4, turning 5 in December. Jasmine was such an amazing young lady. She was so full of life and could easily brighten up the room. She walked in. We were all shattered at this tragedy. Investigators emphasized that the investigation into Jasmine's death is ongoing and urged anyone who may have relevant information to contact the office homicide unit at 909-890-4908 or go to wettip.com to remain anonymous. Now, what do I talk about a lot about these type of stories? Usually, you have mothers putting their children in harm's way by allowing their children to be in the hands of their ex-boyfriend or their boyfriend, sorry. But here you have a biological father putting his 4-year-old daughter in the same hands as his ex-girlfriend or his girlfriend, his new girlfriend, who's not the biological father, who's not the biological mother of this child. So there's no background checks going on here. Where is the background check when you need it? It's a simple background check. And I question this to the biological mother. Why would you put your child in the hands of a woman who the child don't even know, who probably she only knew as her father's girlfriend, new girlfriend. It's dangerous to put children in the hands of people that they're not familiar with because bad things happen. Bad things happen. And the mother, biological mother, I want to say this. And shout out to AFC podcast because he said it's a lot. Why have GoFundMe when you could have life insurance on your children? You're wasting.
Charles, mom said go get those bottles out of the cabinet because they're dripping water.
You're wasting.
I know the fuck you want.
You know, you gotta be careful what and who you put around your children. Like, comment, and subscribe. We want to injustice for. Let me look up her name again.
I say you still watch your Coco Melon.
Justice for Jasmine. Jazmine. Justice for Jasmine, who was 4 years old and did not deserve to be killed by her own father and father's girlfriend. The father should have been more protective over his child. And what he did was stoop to the same level as his no good girlfriend who chose to put his child in harm's way. And he put himself in the same predicament. He chose his new girlfriend over his own child. Like, comment, subscribe. We are on a story. 6 out of 10. We have an update to a story. And the story's out of Texas. I talked about the story on my channel. And it was where the 7-year-old little boy was found dead in a washing machine. And his foster father, I believe, was arrested. and charged with the murder. But now, both foster parents have now been arrested for this murder. Texas parents are charged after a 7-year-old foster son is found dead in a washing machine in July. Authorities charged Jermaine Thomas with capital murder and Tiffany Thomas with injury to a child by omission. She should have also been arrested for capital murder because I believe she knew what was going on and did not say that. A Texas couple had been arrested and charged 4 months after their 7-year-old foster son was found dead in a washing machine. The Harris County Sheriff said Tuesday. Authorities charged Jermaine Thomas, 42, with capital murder and Tiffany Thomas, 35, with injury to a child by omission after police found their 7-year-old son, Troy Quiller, dead in a washing machine at the family's home in Spring, a census-designated place about 24 miles north of Houston. On July 28th, after he had been reported missing, Sheriff Ed Gonzalez said. An autopsy by the Harris County Institute of Forensic Science ruled Troy's death a homicide and said he suffered new and previous injuries, Gonzalez tweeted. WNBC reported that court documents state Troy experienced exposition, blunt force trauma, and possible drowning, and that authorities said he had face injuries and multiple bruises. Authorities also found blood on the washing machine and elsewhere in the home. Court documents said the deputies arrived at the scene around 5:20 a.m. and that the parents told them the son had been missing since 4 a.m. Authorities found him inside a top-load washing machine in the garage, KPRC reported. Documents said the parents were upset that Troy ate some of Tiffany Thomas' oatmeal cream and threatened to put the boy in an oven until he confessed, and that he ate Jermaine Thomas' donut sticks. Text messages included in court documents obtained by KPRC say that after having found out the boy ate the donuts, Jermaine Thomas thought, "I need to get the lot. I'm going to end up killing him." KPRC reported that Troy, a foster child, was adopted in 2019. Elijah records show that Tiffany Thomas is being held on $150,000 bond and has a court date set for Thursday. 30 says she did not appear in court upon arrest for mental health reasons. Jermaine Thomas is listed as an inmate in Harris County Jail records, which lists the charges. KPRC reported that the authority said his bond has been set at $2 million. The sheriff's office did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Okay, number one. Both parents conspired to kill this child over him eating those snacks. Why does the foster mother in charge with capital murder? I would never know. She should be charged with capital murder. If he's charged with capital murder, she should be charged with capital murder. End of the story. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna end the stories off there. What I'm gonna do is next week we're going to talk about stories 7, 8, 9, and 10. Our next story to talk about is going to be mega church leader who was charged with killing a girl. I believe she was 4 to 6. Texas teacher who tells student a Texas teacher tells student he doesn't like blacks, so we talk about a racist teacher. A brother kills 16-year-old sister, Mariona Jones, and 22-year-old kills 40-year-old girlfriend and her daughter after 1 month of dating. You do not want to miss these stories coming up next week. And thank you guys so much for watching today's stories. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. These stories are 5 of the stories are sad. One of them were amazing, which was
Come
a
on,
10-year-old
hurry up.
whose name was Miracle, who helped her mom deliver the baby. So, baby for benefits from story 2 to 6. 2 to 6. Sorry, 3 to 6. 2 stories where, okay. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.